Hey guys, welcome back to Cara Plans. Today I'm going to be putting together my November budget very late, and then at the end we're going to be doing a weekly check-in for my first pay of November. So this is a little late. I'm recording this on November 14th. I think I set up this budget like 2 weeks ago, but I didn't have time to do the voiceover because we've had a lot going on in our family, and a lot of it has to do with my kids, and I'm just not going to share what's been going on, but it's been taking up a lot of my time and energy and causing a lot of anxiety. And hopefully we're coming to a resolution on it, but it's just been a very stressful couple weeks where I haven't been able to get a lot of extra stuff done. So here we are 2 weeks later, and I'm finally getting my November budget set up for you guys. So this is the all-in-one life planner from Planning to Prosper, Stephanie Ann, and these are the financial money management pages. So I'm just using this to set up her monthly budget because when I use the budget by paycheck workbook, she doesn't have a monthly view in there, but there is one in the Live Rich planner. So I might move over to that in the spring, in January, when I move to the Live Rich planner. So right now I've got my income totals set up, all of my income sources. I don't budget for extra income. That's extra. So that's kind of like a miscellaneous income category. And I broke up my paychecks because I know what my second pay is all the time. My first pay gets commission added in. So that one is a little variable. So I estimate that one. Then I'm just going through and putting my fixed expenses in. These are the bills that are the same amount every month with very little change. And I do apologize for the focus issue. This is a screen recording from my iPad, so I'm not sure what's going on unless it's just a processing issue. So I do apologize if it's a little out of focus. I have been toying around canceling my Massage Envy membership. They've been getting rid of a lot of the higher level massage therapists, and I just need to call and cancel it. Also at the bottom, you'll notice Rocket Mortgage. So I refinanced in October, and the end of November, December 1st, is when my first mortgage payment's going out. So that is a new bill starting this month, and the flag star is obviously gone. Then my variable expenses, I do my best to estimate those, and the reason I put the Barclay there is that's what I budget to put in Barclay, and then anything extra goes into that because that's my top of my debt snowball. Then I just total up my sinking funds here. I don't itemize them, and then my cash envelope spending I'm also putting on this side to get a total on. So the first week of November fell into the third pay of October. So my food budget for November still going forward is $400. Fuel $175. I haven't been using that much fuel, so I think in December that might actually change a little bit. And then I did increase household to 100. Fingers crossed that we can stick to that this month. And beauty and planner at 100 each. I was planning on beauty. I know that I needed some things, and I have one nail appointment this month, I think, or maybe two. So beauty might be another category where I go over budget a little bit. So I'm just calculating the totals for these, and then this will be kind of set up kind of as my guide. It gives me a ballpark of what I have to work with for the month and anywhere that I need to really pay attention to and be cautious with if I'm expecting that it's going to be tight. Now, also this month, I did end up getting, after this was filmed, I got my escrow back from my original mortgage company. So that was an additional income that is reflected on my first paycheck budget. So you can find that there, wherever that video is in the sequence of videos on my YouTube. I'm so out of sorts right now. But yeah, things have been they've just been hard. So now I'm trying to use the on-screen calculator just so you guys can see what I'm doing as I total up my columns, because I realized that when I'm screenshotting, it's like just a dead silence where the screen doesn't change a whole lot when I'm using the calculator on my phone. So I just thought that I would try using the calculator here on the iPad to spice up the visuals a little bit, I guess. Yeah, a lot of stuff's been going on. My older son, as you guys, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that we struggle with school with him, and just some things went on at school that weren't good, but I think what happened is being blown out of proportion by formalities, and it's just put a lot of stress on me that we have to go through all these stupid formalities for something that really in when your kid's in second grade shouldn't be that big of a deal. So I'm trying to keep the stress on me and not on him, and just focus on him being in his new classroom and really liking his new teacher. So that's that. So here what I'm doing is I'm just kind of highlighting the categories. And the reason I'm doing this is when I close out my budget at the end of the month, it's a lot easier for me to total up what my budgeted amount for the different categories were. So beauty, when I get to my end of the month budget closeout, I'm going to say that I budgeted $165 for beauty. And then when I get to all these utilities, I'll be able to total them up and know what I budgeted for utilities. So that's kind of where I'm going here. It's just kind of a simplification process to help me close out my budget at the end of the month, because if I don't set up this monthly expectation, then I have a really hard time figuring out what I budgeted. And then that color is really weird. That one's supposed to be more of a green, but it seems like a neon yellow. Either way. So then I still count my van payment in debt. So those are all debts that you can see that I'm highlighting in that dark orange. And when I picked my highlighter colors on the iPad, I tried to stick with the closest color I could to the mild liners that I was using that I have labeled, because I think I will be going back to paper budgeting in the new year. This is nice, but there's something about writing on paper that I really love. So I think I will be using the paper budget by paycheck workbook, or at least the Live Rich Planner finance pages. I don't know if I'll continue using the digital version of the budget by paycheck workbook or not. I do have both, so I'm going to see where that goes. But this is just prep work to help make closing out the budget at the end of the month so much easier. And it just saves me a lot of time. So then, like, allowance there, I put in the hot pink because I don't really have a category for that. And I tend to forget to put it on my closeout. So now, hi, I filmed these as two separate videos. So now I'm just moving over and we're doing the weekly check-in for November 8th to the 14th. And you can see I have my screen split so that I can see two pages at once. So on the left-hand side, I have everything that I used my checking account debit card for. And then on the right was my cash envelopes. And I'm just doing the weekly check-in down at the bottom of the cash envelope page. So they kind of have everything all together in these pages. One of the colors you'll see that is missing from this week is household. I managed to not spend anything on household expenses this week, so I'm pretty proud of that. And I'm just setting up the weekly check-in here down at the bottom real rough. It's not pretty. And then Stephanie Ann does have in the Planning to Prosper a weekly check-in sheet, and I probably will transfer these numbers over to there, but I do like doing it right here where I have the expenses because it saves on the flipping and it's there when I need it. But I do like to see all the weeks on one page as well. So that might be a little extra work for somebody. So the food normally starts at $200. I had $80 left over from last week's pay that carried over. So I adjusted that from the $200 to $280 for my starting balance on there. I decided to just keep that money in there for the food. Mostly because, so you can see in my cash envelopes, I went to Angelo's twice in 1 week. One was to take my kids out to celebrate their report cards. So that was kind of a special occasion. So I decided to keep the food budget a little higher just so we could do that. And then Mrs. C's was ice cream that we went to afterwards, also for their report cards. So I ended up spending $217.79 on food this week, and I have $62.21 left over for next week. So usually I do one big grocery run every 2 weeks, and that was this week. And then you could see me flipping back there just to what my budgeted amounts were. So for fuel, I filled up once for $39.65, and then I have $33.05 left. over. And that doesn't add up, does it? 70 minus 39.65 does not equal 33.05. So as I'm recording this voiceover, I can clearly see that. It should be $30.35. My bad. Sorry, guys. I have to get that fixed. Fun money, I budgeted $50 for this pay period. Household, I budgeted $50 for the pay period. And beauty, I budgeted $45. So fun money, I'm just totaling up those three things there. The 2 Amazon movies that I bought for myself. And then we got some stuff at Dollar General. So that's $45.30. So I do have $4.70 left in my fun budget for this pay period. Household, didn't spend anything. Look at that, guys. Miracles do happen. So I still have $50 left in household for next week. And then beauty, I did spend $44.52 on some makeup that I needed. So I have 48 cents left in there till next pay, which is fine. My nails aren't due to be filled until my next pay period. So overall, this was a really good week. Still have everything that I plan to have left over in my budgeting. Not a whole lot going on this week, so I don't anticipate the fun money being an issue. And the household is amazing that I didn't spend any household money this week. So thank you guys for watching and have a great day.